Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Smashtopia episode of the Super Cast Brothers podcast. I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister, and we have somebody stuck in a box, or is he a Pop-Tart? Are you a Pop-Tart, sir? What flavor of Pop-Tart are you? Is your mic working?
Fudge
You can do better.
with the marshmallow.
I'm not a fan of the s'mores
And,
Pop-Tarts.
and strawberry jam.
Wait, fudge, marshmallows, and strawberry jam?
And sprinkles.
This sounds like okay, it's a Pop-Tart. Of course there's sprinkles. But this sounds like a lot of things in a Pop-Tart. You sure you're not a toaster strudel?
Please, we don't associate with the inferior.
Yeah, I tried one once as a kid. I was like, this sucks. I want Pop-Tarts.
Serious. The best part about toaster strudels is
throwing them in the trash.
In the front.
Actually, the real best part of toaster strudels is the commercials. I'll admit that. They had good commercials as a kid.
That's true. Yeah. I like the Pillsbury Doughboy and like his warm stomach.
I hear you have a warm stomach.
I do. Put him on the Smashtopia weekend one of these days.
I don't wanna. I really
Okay.
don't want to do that. Listen. I have standards, and those standards mean not putting SpongeBob or Naruto or pretty much any other fourth party character on the wiki except the ones we already did for podcast purposes.
Izuku from My Hero Academia.
The problem with he has enough that he can easily have a moveset be made for him, but no fourth parties in Smash. I know.
Scooby-Doo.
No, stop it. Listen. Here's the thing. I'm trying to bring up which thing I need to look at here to reference the thing. Okay, so I know Sora is in now. I know he is, but Sora being in does not mean fourth parties are coming to Smash. I just need to make this clear. Okay, this doesn't mean shit. Yes, we called that episode "Sealing the Deal" because hey, you know what? Oh, maybe no. If we get them in someday, it's not going to be because of Sora. Okay, I'm just making that clear right here, right now. But anyways, this is not the episode for that. That'll be another day, another time, maybe. Fourth parties are not happening. I'm just listen. They're not happening.
Yeah.
You can be sad about it if you want. You can be angry with me for saying it, but it ain't gonna change the thing. You want to play as anime characters in a fighting game? There's games for that. You know what there's
Frosted
not?
Mini Wheat will be playable.
Just play as Powdered Toast Man in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
I hate Ren and Stimpy though, so I can't do it. I could beat him up though.
You could beat up Powdered Toast Man?
Yeah.
I don't know why Powdered Toast Man is a concept that exists. I did not watch the show he is in, but I just have to wonder, why? What?
It's one of the least disturbing things from that show. I'll tell you that.
Nickelodeon had some weird shit over the years. I still want to know where the fuck Jimmy and Timmy is.
Yeah. I want to know where Garbaggio is.
I don't know what that is. I want to know what we're showcasing for today's Smashtopia episode. That's what I want to know. What are we doing, Jonno? What?
And I think the people, want to know our names. That's right.
I said my
Jonno
name.
and Zantok.
You're the one that hasn't been doing your name because you do your weird fucking bit that takes 5 goddamn minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Every episode.
Okay.
I'm just like, hi, I'm Zantok. And you take like 3 minutes to say anything. And I'm just sitting over here just like, oh my god. Is he gonna do something? Is he gonna introduce something? I never know what you're gonna fucking do. You're a goddamn weirdo.
Yeah, it was bad. I forgot that even happened.
It happens every episode.
Okay, Smashtopia showcase. So we're doing that. Okay. Oh, I'm
Yes.
going first. Or are
Oh,
you
hold
going
on,
first?
hold on.
Okay.
So last
Okay.
time we did this, we were a little unsure of how much time it was going to take, and we ended up going really over kind of what I wanted to with it, and we were shooting to do 3 showcases per each of us. We're kind of down to just 2 each. And the one rule with that is it's going to be we can't. The one person will not do 2 characters
Mm-hmm.
because characters have a lot more to talk about. If we basically for the 2 of us, be smart in what you showcase and not something that's going to take up 10 minutes in one item, please. That's going to be our rules.
Mm-hmm.
Just plain and simple with that. Now you ended it last time because you had your double feature of Jinsakai. So I'm going to go
Right.
ahead and start us off this time around. And I'm going to start with the stage that I wanted to show off last time, but I cut out for the sake of time. And that's going to be one that I find to be a really fun concept. It's going to be from a game that you probably have never heard of, but you might know the series. In fact, the series has a character in Smash, and that would be Dragon Quest. But this specific game is Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun game. It's actually the second game in a series. The second game is the only one that got localized, which I found out when I was making that stage. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But in this game, you are a slime named Rocket, and you can kind of like bounce yourself around places. Uh, and your whole town has been slime napped by the evil Plob. Yeah, I know. And you have giant fucking tank battles. You get in a tank, you shoot things at another tank, and it's really fucking cool. And this is what it looks like. We have over on the left we have the Schliemann tank, which is the tank of the hero, and over the right, that particular tank is called the Carrot Top tank, which there's various different enemy tanks, and that's just kind of a fun one. It has a whole unique mechanic to it because it has that little horn drill on it that the enemies can use to shoot at you. But your whole point when you're doing these tank battles is you're trying to load up ammo into your 2 cannons to shoot at the enemy tank, lower their HP down, and then sneak in, blow up their engine from the inside. So I was just like, how can I make this a stage? And I didn't think I could do it, but I fucking did it. So I have here my layout that I came up with for this stage. It's it's a very horizontal stage. It's very long in that aspect, and it's mirrored from left to right. Over on the left side, there's always going to be the Schliemann tank. Over on the right side, it could be the Carrot Top, or it could be. I'm trying to think of some of the other tanks. I know I have them listed on the wiki page for this stage. Let's see here. What were some of the other options here? We had the Carrot Top. We had. Could I just want to have them? Oh, the Platypans or the Persecutor. There's one called the Fortnite. Not that kind. I know. I had to mention that one on there purely because the Golemator, the Chrono Twigger. It's a tree. Chrono
Nice.
Trigger. I like it.
Nice.
It's clever. Uh, but the whole concept of this stage is at all times there are going to be these tiny little essentially pellets that are being shot across from one tank to the other, damaging them. You're not going to see like a physical HP bar for each one, but you'll be able to see when the tanks are being hurt. You'll actually be able to see the armor plating fall off, and you'll actually be able to like knock people out of the tank from inside because you have essentially 3 fighting planes. There's the outside area where all that grass is. Then there's left tank
Mm-hmm.
and right tank, and you can fight inside of them. But normally these tanks are pretty enclosed, so you can't hit somebody and knock them out of the tank into the blast zone. But if that tank takes enough damage, now there's a hole in the tank and they can be sent flying. You can also the little blue rectangles are item dispensers, which will dispense normal Smash Bros. Items. If items are turned off, they will only dispense pellets, which can just be tossed in. But you can use those items either for fighting, or you can use them to throw in the cannons to fire at the other tank. And if a tank takes on enough damage and it explodes, then anybody who's in the tank gets launched out towards the middle of the stage, unless that person received 100% damage or more at the time of explosion, and then they are instantly KO'd, just like the fire pits in Great Cave Offensive, or some Final Smashes that we have. And then while the left tank will always be the Schliemann, the right tank can be one of the various enemy tanks. This is a stage that I don't think many people would like to play on for regular Smash battles, but it could make an interesting team battle kind of thing. Like you play on the stage purely for team battles, especially if when you kind of like recreate the tank battles of that game, which I just think is a really fun idea. Is this stage probably going to be hell to play as? Yeah, but would it be fun if you really got into the concept? I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. You're kind of rigging Smash to be a game of tank instead, which is cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, it would be a
And
home stage
also,
for the player character Rocket from Rocket Slime if I ever make a moveset for him, which I have some ideas for, but haven't put it together yet. I have ideas for a lot of characters.
you do Rocket, and I will do Choo Choo.
Why?
Well, that's like a double-ended joke. It
I
could be
would rather
Choo Choo
you
Rocket or
just do
Choo Choo Griselda.
the rest of your stages from the stage showcase episode.
Especially the Spinacher.
All of them.
All of them.
Yes. Anyways, that's my first thing
By
that
the
I
time
want to
this episode
showcase
comes
tonight.
out, they might be.
What did you want to showcase?
So, you know me by many names on the broadcast.
Asshole. Weirdo.
Yep.
Freak.
Yep.
Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, Chucky Finster.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Shakespeare
So,
Clippets.
yeah. Yep. Also that. Chucky Finster is an assist trophy on the Smashtopia wiki,
He is. He is.
fulfilling a years-long meme and joke, and something that all of you get to enjoy from me on a fairly constant basis.
You were working on him originally be the character in our fourth party Smashtopia episode, but you weren't happy with what you were coming up with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go for a playable baby, it's pretty much got to be Tommy because that's where all the meat is.
Yeah.
But we still, or Reptar was the obvious choice for Nick's all-star role.
I mean, they also didn't want to promote baby violence.
I wonder about that sometimes, like with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Oh, we'll see.
They've been on my list for years. Actually, I think I did make a Baby Mario back on the Mercurios way back when.
I'm pretty sure you did, yeah. So yeah, this Chucky is an assist trophy though. And when he appears on stage, he does what he does best, which is running and hiding. However, if he is hit, he may drop his bear, Wawa. And if he drops Wawa, he'll start running like just crazy with his arms in a flurry. And that could hurt opponents to such a degree that they could be grounded into the earth for several seconds. And that's kind of Chucky.
That kid grounds people into the earth.
Yep.
Do you think Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2 will have assist trophies?
Maybe so, yeah. Oh, and Boppo also plays an element, but he's an item, and we can talk about him another day. So,
wait, are there items in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl? I don't think there are.
I don't think so. Yeah, missed opportunity. Skeleton crew budget. What can I say, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think with what budget they were given, they did a good job. But you can tell.
I think so.
That game had no budget, which is a shame. So that's Chucky, your assist trophy. My next showcase is from the Danganronpa games, which I, over the past year, got into those games thanks to a friend of mine who's been on this podcast, Curb Walker. You jerk. And I liked playing them, and I was like, hey, what if Smash? Now, Kelly Jelly already made a moveset from Makoto 980, the protagonist from the first game, and he introduced alternate costumes for the protagonists from the other games for Makoto. I was like, okay, well, Makoto's kind of off the table, so what can I do? Well, first thing I wanted to do was I made a moveset for the bastard bear, Monokuma. And I was like, I can do that. But I didn't want to make Monokuma be the showcase because it's kind of spoilery, like a lot spoilery. One of the moves, at least two of the moves very clearly reference certain cases and murders, and I didn't want to spoil things, especially when Jonno over here has not seen the games at all, and there's a chance he might someday. So like, it's one thing to spoil a game like Tales of Vesperia or Assassin's Creed, Kid Icarus Uprising. It's another thing to spoil a game where knowing the secrets ruins the game, arguably. And so I don't want to do that. But I also made a stage for Monokuma based off of the second game, and that is Jabberwock Island. Now, the picture that we have here doesn't really show you much about the stage, because it's just a picture of the the 6 islands themselves. But there wasn't really a good picture to show off everything in one, so it's kind of what we got. But the way that Jabberwock Island works in game and in Smash is you have a central island, and from the central island there are bridges to 5 other islands. And in Danganronpa, you'll start out only having access to the central island and to First Island. Creative names, I know. But as each chapter of the game progresses, you get access to another island. For Smash, how this is going to work is that when the battle starts, everyone will start off on Central Island. It's going to be a grounded stage. There are no platforms, and I can show what this looks like here. So as you can tell by this very simple image, the green is just like the bottom of the ground, the grass, whatever. It's just blank. Central Island. But as you're fighting, the stage can transform as we go from one island to another. We go from there's First Island with 1 platform, Second Island with 2, Third with 3, Fourth with 4, Fifth with 5. Simple enough, all very basic stuff here. It's just changing the platform layout, adding to the platform. But there's a little bit more to it than just that. There is a stage hazard that can appear on every island for this stage. However, you're not going to get a hazard every time you load up a transformation. Like, if you get a transformation, then your very next island you go to will be clear and empty. You'll have a free time. But don't expect them to be like every other island either. I would guess probably an average, if I was to say something, roughly every 3 islands could actually probably get something. Most of these hazards, as you can expect, are hazards. There are things that are going to be damaged to players, but they're coming in the form of what would essentially be like a mini boss. Not a full stage boss like you would see with the Yellow Devil on Wily Castle, but something that will attack you, but you can fight off, and if you defeat it, whoever killing blow will get a KO point. That's how it works for islands 1 through 5. On Central Island, there's a different hazard based off the character Usami. Usami will be flying around the stage. She has her little magic stick that helps her fly, and has like some rainbows trailing around behind her. She doesn't have to do anything. She's just flying around, trying to spread love and happiness, essentially. But she can be attacked. And if she's defeated, instead of giving that player that defeated her a KO point because, hey, she doesn't do anything, why should she get a KO point for that? Instead, for the next 10 seconds, they'll be surrounded in a rainbow aura and have all of their stats increased. Jump, attack strength, defense, speed, KO power, all of it upped. Which, gives you a nice little buff for a short bit. People are going to want to run away from you as if you had an invincibility star. So there's some unique little bits of chaos with the stage, which chaos is fitting for Danganronpa. Oh boy. The last thing I really want to note with this stage is that while it is it's a transforming stage. The way movement works in the game is you have your player character and you're running around the island. You see all these you see places in the background that you interact with that you can enter, like the hotel, or the fun house, or the movie theater. For Smash, we're taking that background and we're just essentially copy and pasting it in there. So as a background, you could see a character just running in the background with things behind them. It's just to kind of show off the actual locations in the game, which technically would be spoilery, again, if you haven't played the games, but Sakurai doesn't tend to care about spoilers if he's putting something in Smash. So what the heck is going to happen with that? So I kind of view the background of the stage looking just like this. You'll see one of the 16 students from that game just running around, and you'll see the different locations kind of scrolling by with them. I describe this to some people as like a scrolling background, essentially. But it's not a scrolling stage, it's just a background that moves. Kind of like how movies, when they're filming people walking around a path, they're not actually outside walking, they just have like a background that scrolls behind them, making it look like they're actually moving somewhere when they're not. They're just on a little treadmill, essentially. But the character that shows up in the background can change each time you play the match. The only rule is that if the player that's if one of the players from that game is in the match, like here we have the main character named Hajime, who is one of the alt costumes for Kelly Joli's Makoto. If they are playing in the match, then you won't see him running in the background. You'll see one of the other characters, and that's pretty much the stage. I had fun designing it. The platform layout is very basic, but at a certain point, it's kind of difficult to come up with fun new platform arrangements that are actually different and new. And for this, considering the whole mechanic is going from one stage to or one variant of the stage to another and having mini bosses, I didn't want to go too crazy with like moving platforms and such. You're muted.
Oh,
Congratulations.
It's very aesthetically pleasing to see the first island have one platform and
Yeah.
the second have two and three and four and five. So it works. And
Yeah. And my layout images are very
yeah.
simplistic, but
Mhm.
I've had some for stages that I designed that were quite a bit more to them. Like my Bowser's Castle stage is pretty designed, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
This one's very base and basic,
Right.
but I mean, I'm not an artist. I'm just using MS Paint here. I do what I can.
Oh, same here. Yep. Yep. No, it looks good, and I also can appreciate that the Gorilla Mono Beast proves that even robots want to return to monkey.
I don't know what that means.
Someone out there will, even if it's me re-listening to this episode.
Whoever that is, I feel sorry for you. Especially if it's you listening back to this episode. All right,
Thank
so
you.
that's my second showcase. Next time I'll probably do a character, but these were two stages that I did recently that I was very proud of. I want to
Really,
give them their due.
yeah, very nicely detailed stages with a lot to chew on. Especially that Schleman tank for me really goes into bizarre but workable.
The best part about
territories.
when I was working on that stage and doing research for it, I pulled out the game again to replay it so I could make sure I had my details correct and I could actually design the tank to be as accurate as possible to the actual game, but also converting it to the 2D aspect of Smash. And I ended up playing through over half the game just in a day. I was like, oh fuck, I need to put this down. I was like, uh-oh. It's probably going to become a Let's Play sometime near-ish future. And I say nearest future because I have the next year of Let's Plays already recorded.
Oh, yeah.
I have a problem.
Nice.
And that
Nice,
problem is I like
nice.
playing games.
Well, it's a good problem to have, especially compared to my problem called, like, putting Chucky Finster everywhere.
And putting up your nose, yeah.
Yep. Oh, speaking of, there's not one but two baby memes on this podcast. And
there are.
yeah, we had Upa's Kingdom in the stage showcase, which is actually on the wiki, and it's cool. Speaking of bizarre stage layouts, but we're going to talk about Upa himself. Another assist trophy on my end. One of the first I ever put on the wiki, I think, ever, from 2018.
Yeah, this
And
one actually is pre-podcast, which you don't have a lot pre-podcast on the wiki.
No. Upa even he just moves as he does in the game, just crawls around as a 3D model, as opposed to a 8-bit form. And he hits people with his rattle. When he hits people with his rattle, they begin to inflate and float towards the sky. And when they're done floating, they pop and they are dealt a lot of damage and fall back down to the earth. Similarly to when Wario is stung by a bee in Wario Land 3, but Oopa actually predates Wario Land. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Now
Wario copied Oopa.
you said when they float up to the top of the screen, that's when they pop, right?
Either that or after a number of seconds.
Because I'm thinking in mind is like, what if you're playing on Palutena's Temple and the stage is zoomed the fuck out
Right.
because people are on opposite corners of the map? What would that do with Oopa?
A number of it. I misspoke. It's a number of seconds. So no matter where you are,
Okay.
they
And then
pop.
would it be
Yep.
seconds or would it be like distance traveled? Or is that just pretty much the same thing? Like, would the bubble be floating through obstacles?
No.
Like,
If
if there was like a hard platform here where the bubble just like just kind of stay and then maybe try and go up and above and then continue?
Right. Yes. Yep. And if you hit something like a spike or whatever, somebody threw something at
Something
you,
that damages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I assume it
Yeah.
has like a 1% health, essentially.
Right. Because if you're stuck in this bubble, it's actually you're not stuck in a bubble per se. You are the bubble basically. You blow up.
Okay, so they would take. So whatever damage dealt to the bubble would also be dealt to the character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's Oopa and Chucky.
All right.
Maybe being mentioned here because I'll never be mentioned on the show again.
Yes. Please. Dear God. Anyways, that is our showcase portion of the episode. So now we can actually transition into what we're actually here for. The Smashtopia. Our new moveset being created for a character that does not currently exist in Smash. Today, as you can tell from the title of the episode, which if you haven't read, I'm kind of confused. Why would you not read the title of the episode? But your other hint is the background image we have here today. That's Skyworld from Kid Icarus. What kind of characters could we add from Kid Icarus into Smash? Well, after Kid Icarus Uprising, everybody said Magnus. And I'm just like, Magnus? Really? The guy that just swings a giant sword? I thought you guys were sick of anime sword fighters. What the fuck? Welcome back. I mean, you could add in Veridi. Oh wait, she's already on the wiki. We can't do that. You could do Hades. You could do Thanatos. You could do Phosphora. You could do Pyron. Or you could just do Medusa. Why not, after all? She was in the original NES game. She was the villain there, and she came back for Uprising. So why not just do Medusa herself?
Yeah, a character who, even after the first act of Uprising kind of abruptly ended, still, I think really the third leg of the series in terms of importance. I think there's a really strong case for Viridian Smash over Medusa if we're ever to get another Kid Icarus character, but there's no doubting the legacy of Medusa.
Yeah, I think my personal pick would be Veridi, but I would not be upset at Medusa. Hades would kind of annoy me because I feel like, yeah, sure, he's more the actual big bad of the game, but I feel like both Medusa and Veridi would just be more interesting, and Medusa can really just do anything Hades can do, so why do Hades over Medusa?
If they want a himbo.
Okay, they've already got Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and Eloise. Oh my god, they don't.
And Alucard. Oh, they don't. All right, so
I guess
Medusa
Richter is
from Kid
one.
Icarus. Richter's
pretty stupid.
He's a big dumb sometimes. This is actually coming out at an interesting time because just recently on the channel for my Let's Play channel, YouTube Select Star Gaming, I finished uploading my own playthrough of Kid Icarus Uprising, which might be the most successful Let's Play I've done on the channel because it got views and comments more than any other series was getting live. So I was stunned by that. I was like, oh my god, what? This is great. I love it. But now that I'm uploading the next game, of course, it's dropped back down. What can you do? not every game is going to be allowed, but hey, it's fine.
Mhm.
But so I'm very very fresh on Icarus Uprising, which was helpful in coming up with this moveset, even if I did put myself in a very specific way I wanted to approach it, which we've
Yeah,
talked about a little bit.
yeah, yeah. You and I have talked about it, and we're going to talk about it again to everybody else on the
Yeah.
podcast. We approach this moveset, I would say, probably in quite different ways.
Which honestly is fairly usual
Yeah.
for us.
Right. Poochie was an exception, ish.
I
Or at
mean,
least,
Poochie Pups.
yeah,
I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? I don't know what this is. And like half of your thing was Poochie Pups. Like, where is this coming from? I don't know who these are. What's going on?
You're like Jackhammer Poochie.
Jackhammer
It's like,
Poochie. Yeah. That's some real bullshit I
Okay.
came up with. It
We're
works.
gonna
Though.
have Jackhammer Medusa today.
No, well, we're not. Not for me,
No,
at least.
no.
But when I was approaching this character, I kind of looked at Palutena first, because Palutena is the goddess of light. Medusa, in Kid Icarus lore, once upon a time ruled Angel Land alongside Palutena. But Medusa kind of let her racism show. It's like, I hate all humans. Palutena was just like, what? I banish you. And I also curse your face. Because that ain't what Medusa used to look like. And Medusa, rightfully got pissed. So we have essentially a goddess of light, goddess of dark. And Palutena in Smash, okay, including her own custom moves that she had in Smash 4, which she lost in Ultimate, they were all, for at least, most if not all, based on the different heavenly powers that Pit can find and equip to himself in Kid Icarus Uprising, in a manner very similar to the Navi Customizer in the main Battle Network games, which I found interesting. It's like, Sakura, did you play those games? Because let's talk. So with my version of Medusa, I very heavily looked at those heavenly powers as well, and picked out some that I thought could fit well for Medusa in her more dark / evil / aggressive approach to things, whereas Palutena is more, light and arguably defensive.
Right. So yeah, I sounds good. Sounds like there's a nice duality there, and I think that speaks to the common fan idea of, you could put Medusa in, it could be a Palutena's Echo, which I think if you can make Dark Samus's Echo, of course you can make Medusa Palutena's Echo, but
That's
all the
not to say
same,
she's an Echo though. Like everything she has, there's one attack that is similar to Palutena's, but everything else is a different attack.
Right. There's enough heavenly powers to go around, to where I think it'll be interesting to dive into. For me, I looked more to her status as a goddess of darkness, and to her dark magic and stuff that was prevalent in her boss battle in Uprising, and otherwise. So, but some likenesses to Palutena up here in my moveset too in little ways. So, okay, that'll be cool.
All right. Well, let's do as we always do an intro to the moveset with the entrance animation. So, starting off with me here, I have. You'll start to see just like a portal of darkness, just on the stage. But on the stage, I don't mean horizontally, like on the platform. I mean it's like on the ground here. And you'll see Medusa claw her way up out of the platform, or onto the platform from the portal. Kind of like symbolizing her coming up from the underworld.
Cool. For mine, I just have her. Like it's the same idea. There's the portal of darkness, but I just have her just kind of just zapping onto stage with it, so it's surrounding her. Right away, let's just go with yours.
All right. Just so I have clarity on yours, though, is yours more like she's stepping out of a portal, as opposed, kind of like how Palutena walks out of the doors that she has. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought about that, but I was just like, I like to give her like essentially coming out of the underworld to fight. It's like this works.
Yeah, and you'll see in my taunts and victory poses they sort of, some of them anyway, mimic Palutena as well.
Okay.
We'll get into them.
I don't think
I'm more excited about my special moves. But yeah,
my taunts and victory poses actually do not look at all at Palutena.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean she's not performing pole dance moves?
No pole dance move. I'm pretty sure. I don't see it in my list, so yes, I'm pretty sure. I got some fun stuff though.
Okay.
So that's our entrance then. You say we'll go with mine. I'm good with that, of course. Kirby hats. I mean, it's the snake hair on Kirby. Done deal. It's wild and crazy. They writhe around. They hiss.
Do they nip at opponents who come too close?
Probably not. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like that's just a little much.
Just
But
a
they're
tiny,
active.
tiny.
They wave around.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. What
Oh yeah,
about
mine's
you?
the same thing. Like,
I mean, that usually is. Sometimes we get a little bit. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah, like Poochie. Speaking of,
Which was a great one. That was a great example. It's like, oh shit, that's actually a really cool Kirby hat I hadn't thought of. Fuck yeah. Actually, I think I came up with it during the podcast. But
yeah,
whatever. I was just like, I mean, what else can you do? Put his collar on his head, and we were both just like, actually, though, why not?
what if you put a collar on Kirby's head with Medusa? Okay.
No, I don't think that works here.
Okay.
But
Representing when she was chained to the underworld.
well, if you're gonna have Kirby be covered in chains for a Kirby hat, nah, nothing comes to mind. That would be a good character choice.
Ivy.
No, she doesn't wear chains. She doesn't wear chains. That's just her sword whip that she has. There's probably somebody out there, we just don't know who they are. Let's go ahead and move on to the taunts, though, since we've got Kirby had our interesting animation figured out. Do you want to lead us off here?
Sure. I will say, for her first taunt, and here begins kind of the slight mimicry of Palutena, Medusa mightily pounds her staff downward, producing menacing wings of dark magic while she does so. Which I actually kind of like that idea, knowing that her and Palutena once ruled. Like, her having wings would be semi-realistic.
No, it's fair.
Yeah. And then like a reddish, purplish halo can be seen over her head, similar to Palutena's, while she says, "Darkness shall prevail."
All right.
Similar to, yeah. How about you?
Well, I'll just straight up say, first of all, that none of mine have voice clips.
Okay.
That doesn't know. She can. Just not that I wrote any down for this. But for my first taunt, I have Medusa's head will lift up off of her body and spin a full 360 degrees around. When her head faces back in the direction it started, it descends back onto the body and reconnects itself. Because during her boss fight, what does she do? Her head leaves her body and starts chasing you down. So this is my callback to that.
Is it like Cyclops form or just regular?
What do you mean?
Her with her one eye?
Oh, no. Regular head.
Okay.
Yeah, it just lifts, spins, reattach. A little bit of body horror. Little bit.
Little bit.
Just a little bit.
We've gotten far enough in Smash to do that, though. So, I mean, come on. Yep. Again, Medusa twirls her staff in one hand and grunts, like, "Humph," and sets it back towards the ground, again with the stamp.
Kind of like a, you guys are just not even worth my time kind of a taunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of the antithesis to twirling around on it like a pole.
Fair enough. My second one has the snakes in Medusa's hair, will get aggressive. As all of a sudden they all just like writhe, wriggle, and hiss. And what's really more of an intimidation tactic than a taunt. Like they just go like get back the fuck up, or I will end your pitiful existence.
Nice, nice. My last one actually uses the snakes as well.
Oh.
Where Medusa is honing, she's like looking straight down towards a ball of like dark magic going between her hands, and the snakes are hissing forward like towards the ball.
She's creating a dark ball, and the snakes are hissing at the ball.
Yeah, but the ball, yeah. So this swirling dark magic between her hands is also illuminating her face, and we get a quick glimpse of her true form.
Is the true form the Cyclops pink dress form? Or are you talking about her humanoid form from before she became cursed?
Right. Okay, her true cursed form, like the eyeball and tongue.
So blonde, pink dress Medusa. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're saying is true form here. That's what I'm trying to get out of. Like, what do you mean by true form? What is her true form?
Okay, hold on. He said it's scared Icarus.
Because we know we've seen a sprite version of her humanoid form from the original Kid Icarus. We've seen her tree form. We've seen her monstrous form, which is the blonde hair and pink dress in the original Kid Icarus art books. And then there's how she looks in Uprising. I don't know what true form means here.
Okay, was it only on the card? On the AR card?
I did not look at AR cards.
Like Cyclops one. Okay. Interesting.
Are you talking about you're saying that her she sees her Cyclops head in the dark ball.
Right.
So not her true form, her monster form.
Not right.
Bit of a different thing, true form versus monster form. They're not the same.
What's your true form?
It's not that.
Do we see it?
Do you see what?
What?
What are you talking about? What are you saying? Do we see it?
I don't know. Let's move on.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, my last taunt. So, Medusa holds out her hand. As a small stone statue of Pit materializes in her hand, what she wishes she could do to him if she could just turn the stone. But then, with a snarl, Medusa crushes the statue in her grasp as leaves the stone fall from her hand.
Very nice. Let's see.
All right, so that is our taunts. And now we have our victory poses.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Okay, let's see. Okay. Medusa raises from off of the ground with those wings we had mentioned spread. Just like slowly ascending from off the ground, arms outspread, while she states, "No one can escape the darkness," which is an Uprising quote, apparently. I don't remember, but it's a thing, apparently.
Okay. My first one just has Medusa standing there, arms crossed, as she just laughs with that dark laughter that she has. That taunting kind of a laugh.
Right. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Second one. Medusa's body is seen towards the back of the arena as her head suddenly comes barreling forward in a circular arc as she delivers a guttural cackle as her head appears towards the front of the camera.
Can you show for me what you mean by the head travels in a circular arc? Use your hand.
This is Medusa's body. We're holding it back here.
Uh-huh.
Her head comes in like this.
Okay, I'm seeing now. Okay.
Right.
Alright. At first I was starting to feel like, did you mean like a spiral, or what you meant by
Maybe more
circular
like a
arc
half circle.
strictly? Because like
It's like a Jetsons kind
like
of
it curves in.
entrance. Right.
Okay.
Right.
For my second one, a flash of dark energy is seen as Medusa just warps into the result screen, fairly middle-ish, looking at the camera, as she will say one of a few things. She will either say, "Soon, Angel Land will be mine," and that's her most common quote. But if Pitt was in the match, she might instead say, "You thought you could save Angel Land from me?" And if Palutena was in the match, Medusa may instead say, "You were never my equal, Palutena."
Very nice. Very nice. Mine is Medusa performs a sweeping spin with her staff, pointing it towards the camera with a grimace. I don't have anything designated to a specific taunt,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have a few quotes for Pit, Palutena, and Dark Pit still.
Okay.
They are mostly pulled from Uprising again. One is, "Guess it's all that hot air that keeps you flying."
I like that. That's
the other
actually
is-
good.
"This is revenge for all that you've done to me, Palutena." And "Humph, a pale imitation of the worst angel in existence." And that's what we got.
All right. I like those. Those are good. For my final
Very good.
victory pose, this one is a little bit different. Instead of focusing on a blank, empty screen like result screens usually do, we're taking a little bit from the Joker playbook. This result screen will focus on a city burning away as it's attacked by the forces of the underworld. Above in the clouds, Medusa can be seen towering over the city, swinging her staff as if commanding the army to destroy the town. Pretty much like the first mission in Kid Icarus Uprising. And you know what that town is called in that first mission? That burning town. That's all it's known as. So it's essentially we're seeing that town burning away thanks to Twin Bellows and other underworld mooks, as Medusa's just like in the clouds laughing at the destruction.
Very nice. Was it that town before it was burning?
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. Perfect.
All right. Here we go.
Very good.
Let's get
Oh,
this figured
God.
out. First of all,
Yes, let us find what Medusa's true form is.
her true form is her human form, which we only see as a sprite in the NES game. That's the only thing you got.
Oh, there you
There is no true form in Uprising. It's just Medusa. Just her. I would say, though, as the things that I think... First of all, the only thing I would say for sure is the Burning Town one. I think we need that.
I agree. I was thinking about something like that for mine too. Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no. I didn't have... I was just going to say, I didn't know what to put, so...
Oh.
You're already as good.
Yeah. I was going to say, your one with her head moving in a circular arc for the victory screen, I think that one's better than my one where she just stands there and laughs.
Okay.
So I think we can have that one instead.
You. Okay.
What was
She loves
your...
that one too.
You said you didn't...
Which
okay. What were your other two victory animations again?
Oh, it was her sweeping like a sweeping spin with her staff, and then pointing it towards the camera, and then the one where she's floating off the ground, saying no one can escape the darkness. And yours were, I don't even.
There's the results screen, which we have her just teleporting in with flash dark energy, and then just standing there, crossed arms, laughing.
Right.
So we've got circular
Right.
head, we've got burning town.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
I'm kind of thinking warps in with the dark energy, but she does the sweeping staff and points towards the screen.
Yeah.
Combining
There you
those two together,
That
and
works.
then we'll figure out something with the quotes. I think that's the one where she'll have the quotes, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll have like a pit quote, a Palutena quote, a dark pit quote, maybe a Verity quote as well, since Verity is on the wiki.
Yeah.
And if we ever do Hades,
Yeah.
at some point we can create a quote for him, and we'll have like a neutral quote when it's not against any of them, and we'll
Sure.
figure those out off podcast. But I'm guessing we'll probably go with probably your quotes for Pit and Palutena, I would guess, because I think they're better than mine. But I do like the Soon Angel. I think Soon Angel Land will be mine one. Could be a good neutral one, potentially.
I think so too.
And we'll
It's
just see something. We'll figure out
character
something for
specific.
Verity.
Yeah.
Maybe something about how she also hates humans. I don't know.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Taunts.
Sounds good. My goodness. I remember your head one.
Yeah, I have the head
Your
rising
head
up, spinning. I have snakes kind of going nuts. Then
Mm-hmm.
I have the little stone statue of Pip that she crushes.
Right. And then what do I have? I have the magic swirling in her hands that illuminates her face and sews off her monstrous form. I have just her twirling her staff around in her hand, and then pounding it downward with the wings and saying, "Darkness shall prevail."
Something I remembered. I like your your passive. You fools are beneath me kind of a taunt that you have here. The one where she kind of like
Mhm.
twirls the staff kind of lazily, I guess you could call it. She's like, not even worth the effort. I like that one a lot.
Okay, got it. I was actually kind of wondering if that one would fit in after we have the sweeping spin in the victory pose, but I guess so.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
There are characters that have
Um,
like pretty much the same things as Taunt and Victory Pose in Real Smash. I think it just depends
True.
on what's fitting for the character, and I think
Yeah.
that fits her personality.
Right. That's true. Yeah, and at the same time, I think we can do without my taunt with the basically knockoff wings.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just me. I think if we're not going to have it in the victory pose, may as well not do it in the taunt and just make her more unique.
Fair enough.
So then we're dealing with your head, my monstrous form, and then your snakes. And I think one other that I'm again blanking
Mine
on.
is a small stone statue that she
Right,
crushes.
yeah, and that's a good one too. Holy cow! Which of yours do you think takes most precedence?
Probably the snakes one, honestly.
Okay.
It's a good, not strictly taunt, but it's a good like aggressive fight me
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, come at me if you really feel like it, but I don't fucking recommend it. I'm a goddess, bitch.
Yes, you are. Gonna take
I
that out
think-
of the clip and put it on Facebook.
I think my weakest one, even though I like it, is the head spinning one. Like it came in there as like a reference to her boss fight,
Mhm.
but I think taunt wise, it's the weakest option.
Got it. I mean, if you feel that way and you want to knock it off, I guess we could do that, and then toss in the snake one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're just dealing with monstrous form or pit statue.
Is monstrous form too similar to snakes?
I don't know. I mean, I think so because you're showing something different, but at the same time, the statue of Pitt is pretty entertaining. And I think if it doesn't accentuate Medusa's character exactly, it does speak to the tone of Uprising.
Right.
And so I think of the two, I would probably vote for yours.
All right.
I think.
I kind of
Yeah.
want to add in another little element to that one as well, is that there's a rare chance that instead of a Pitt statue, it's a Palutena statue.
Yeah. There you go.
All
Or a
right.
gold Kirby statue from Superstar. Just kidding. All right.
Not sure why it would be that, but hey. I'm also not sure why Kirby turns into a chest from Breath of the Wild, but hey. Sakurai. Sometimes, man, sometimes. It's like, what are you doing, sir? Alright, but it sounds like we've got our taunts, sounds like we've got our victory poses, which means we can get into the fun stuff.
Oh, buddy.
Here we...
That wasn't that difficult.
No,
This will be.
we've gotten a lot better about it over the seasons. I was going to say years, but I don't feel like it's accurate to really say years. Yeah, even though it's been 2, it just doesn't feel right to use that word. Over the seasons.
Right. Maybe next season we could say years.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just thinking. Like, after 3 years, I think we can say the word years. Alright, so special moves here. You want to go first, or shall I with these?
Who went first with the entrance? It was you, wasn't it? Yeah.
I did
Okay, I'll
entrance,
go,
and
whatever.
then you went first with taunts.
Oh, in that case, you go first.
Alright then. So my standard special is the one that is the closest in concept to something that Palutena already does in Smash. Palutena's standard special is the auto reticle. She also had other custom moves in Smash 4 that I meant to bring up here, so let me just grab those. Sorry, do they have it? Are they in an easy list? Yeah, she had auto reticle, explosive flame, and heavenly light as her neutral specials in Smash 4, but it just turned into auto reticle for ultimate. But for me, for Medusa, I have weak point reticle. So weak point reticle will, instead of creating like a reticle on screen that then shoots out 3 quick bursts towards a character, instead we're going to have a thin purple laser that will fire out from Medusa's staff and will travel a short distance. If this laser makes contact with an opponent, they will take a minimum amount of damage, so really 1% and no knockback. However, this now creates a small purple reticle which will superimpose itself over that character, and it just kind of like follows them around. While this reticle is in place, that player will take 1.3 times damage from any attack that hits them for the next 8 seconds. This is kind of similar in concept to the Inkling's Ink. However, unlike the Inkling, Medusa can only have a weak point reticle on one opponent at a time. Using this move a second time, whether it hits an opponent or not, will cancel any currently existing reticle, which also means that it cannot stack. I mean, I guess you could have 2 Medusas that each put their weak point reticle on one character, but no, I'm just going to say it cannot stack. It's just 1 reticle on them, but anybody can hit them to do some extra damage. It exposes their weak point.
Very nice. It's like the giant enemy crab is all of Medusa's opponents. No, that's a savvy move, and even with its similarities to Palutena's, it's really different from Smash.
Yeah. I mean, it is
So that's
pretty
pretty
similar
cool.
to the Inklings, but even with this one, it's a much smaller projectile. It's a single projectile compared to the Inkling, where it's like, I don't know, however much ink I can get on you, it's going to do more damage based on that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, just moving right on along, and then we'll have the sludge to deal with
Oh, yeah.
at the end of it. So we're just going to rip the band-aid off on the typical, what you would expect from a character called Medusa right away. The standard special for that I have in mind is Stone Gaze.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the move you'd expect to see. Medusa stamps her staff into the ground, and she leans slightly forward, and a piercing red light shoots from her eyes. And so it moves about as quickly as Mewtwo disabled us, so just super fast. and at no charge is pretty much the same function. You're briefly stunning opponents, and you're maybe making them slip. It could be a slide backdoor way to break through shields. Bada bing, bada boom. Charge it, however, and suddenly the gaze widens. So the red light, instead of being a brief little shot, turns into a cone, like a conical sentry light, like the Emmys from Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
The light grows, so it grows wider, it stretches further. I don't know. We always measure things in character heights and widths and whatever. So if you like Smash, you know what we're talking about. Moving about 2 Bowsers forward and 3 Kirby's upward.
Jesus.
Pretty far. A full charge guarantees petrification, with the rate of petrification growing more certain the further that it's charged. A petrified opponent becomes a stone statue of themselves unless they break 3, so match the buttons.
Right.
Either their own doing or by rapidly moving the control around, blah, 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 or by being dished out more damage, enough damage to warrant it. The number of seconds that you are petrified also depends on the amount of damage you've racked up, because the move itself barely damages.
Yeah.
A fully petrified opponent can also function as an item, with other characters capable of lifting them like a heavy crate and throwing them around. It would hurt a bit to be hit by a statue, so Medusa can be hit by it as well, of course. And being thrown will damage the interrupt character, but it will also break them free.
Okay.
And that's that.
I assume being attacked by just normal attacks as well would also break them free faster.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had...
Yeah, you're... Yeah, sorry?
Because Petrified Attack is one of the heavenly powers in Kid Icarus Uprising. So I was toying with that one as well,
Yep.
but I was just like, being able to petrify a character, is that too much? I mean, we already have a frozen state, we have a paralyzed state, we have a confused state. Is Petrify, does that go too far? And I was just like, ooh. And I was like, I'm going to back off of that. Because that feels like it could get dangerous. But that said, I mean, she is Medusa. You have petrification somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
I think in the way that I did it, it's fair enough, where there are active ways to break free of it.
The only thing I'm unsure about with that one is being able to pick them up. I mean, the side stack maybe could be smaller as well, but I think maybe the picking up part, because you should be like, all right, I see you recovering back to the stage, you're here, petrified, I'm just going to toss you back off. Now you're fucked. That's the main thing where I was really concerned about petrification.
Yeah.
Because, like, if a character is frozen and paralyzed and smashed, you can't strictly kill them. Sure, with that. You can, you're free to do a charge attack, a charge smash attack, but you can't just, like, insta dead. That was my big worry with petrification. Was like, oh, this feels potentially like an issue.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe don't throw them off then. I just thought it'd be fun.
That'd be the main thing. Is be like,
yeah.
Balancing.
If you can't throw them off, then it just becomes a kind of like being frozen, but just looks different.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Which is a lot more palatable.
Okay. Right.
My side special in comparison is a lot simpler. I'm pulling it in for another heavenly power. This time it's Slipshot. Slipshot in Kid Icarus, when you activate it for a few seconds, your range attacks go through walls. So in Smash, it's much the same way. With its deck, Medusa will kind of like point forwards with her staff as 3 small spheres of dark energy materialize in a triangle-like pattern. So you'll have like 1 here and then 2 like this, kind of like behind it, creating a little, I guess, a triangle pointing forwards, whatever. These projectiles are each relatively weak, dealing only a small amount of damage. But if you're hit by all 3 of them, obviously that's going to rack up. As I mentioned, the unique thing about Slipshot is that it can pass through walls or obstacles. So these will pass through crates, heavy platforms, the walls in Luigi's Mansion, the walls of Shadowless Island, even though I guess that one technically doesn't matter, considering nothing can get on the other side of those walls. but still, visually, it's like that. Meanwhile, however, while they can pass through walls and everything, they do not pass through other players, so they can't just like go through one player and then another player and then another player. It doesn't work quite like that. It's only hit one opponent. But anything else, they might as well be a ghost. Gives her some nice ranged possibility. Like, hey, you're fighting me on Venom. You're trying to hide on the other side of the ship, trying to get against that wall. No. Hey, you have an Alolan Executor. You're trying to hide on the other side of him. No. My shots go through. Now, so
Cool.
what I would need to say to
Yeah.
that is that assist trophies that can be damaged and KO'd, Slipshot would not pass through them, it would hit them. But ones that cannot be damaged, like a Alolan Executor, it will just pass through.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And again, it what it in simplicity it makes up for in usage, and it's again a separate use from anything else in Smash. So
That's what I like to do.
yep, Uchi Jackhammer.
I also want to mention
I'm
that
joking.
Palutena's side specials.
Mhm.
Actually, I guess this doesn't really like compare to any other ones because she got the closest thing it really compares to with Palutena is in Ultimate, Explosive Flame became her new side special, whereas in 4 it was Reflect Barrier, Angelic Missile, and Super Speed. So it's very much new compared to that.
Right. Okay, up specials.
Yep.
Sweet. Or no, side special. God,
No,
I
we
have
just
my
did.
side
No,
specials.
we just did side specials. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I went first, so it's time for your side special. Fuck. Shit.
Okay, so my side special. A beetle just flew into the middle. Okay, so Gorgon's Claw.
Okay.
Again, inspired by her boss battle. We know the move where it rends into space. Or just rends into pit, rather. I just spoiled the move. Medusa takes a moment, so just a slight charge, and then swipes forward with fury. Rending the space directly in front of her with red scratch marks that remain visible for like half a second after they show up.
Okay.
Of course, that deals a bit of damage. Like it's considerable. If you're having your shield up, you may as well not. That sort of thing. Like it's pretty strong move. But the interesting thing here is that when the red scratch marks dissipate, they open a spatial rend in the shape of claws, and it's a miniature black hole effect. It pulls opponents and items alike into its trajectory, so long as they are within a few solid steps distance from it. So captured opponents will remain in space unless they either break free or until the stare disappears. The black hole appears regardless of whether Medusa strikes straight into the air or manages to claw at an opponent. If she claws at an opponent, she can either send them flying or falling to the floor, yada yada. Again, it has super armor at the start, able to break shields really capably, and so it maintains a separate aesthetic from the black hole item as well, kind of glowing red and purple, similar to Medusa's magic properties. And the idea is kind of like it's like pulling opponents towards the underworld, but it's a little too small to follow through. Like it's like black hole, but nowhere near as powerful as the item.
Okay. Question. You said she does the claw. Claw marks
Right.
appear, but when the claw marks disappear, that's when the black hole appears?
To better enunciate that, she tears, and then a split second later, the tear opens into.
Okay. That makes more
Okay.
sense, because you said when the claws dissipate, and it's like, black hole after that? That didn't make sense to me, but a black hole effect when the claws essentially create, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was very weird. It's like, what? Sometimes a single word.
Yeah, there you go.
True form. All right. So,
Okay.
Up specials. Now, I mentioned just a bit ago that Palutena's side special in Smash 4, one of her options was Angelic Missile. I had a bit of a harder time trying to come up with an up special I'd like for Medusa that wasn't just warp, teleport,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like counter. When you can do something else, do something else, Sora.
I'm glad he does.
Well, he has counter
Brings
though.
up Pete the dog. Oh yeah.
But so for Medusa here, this is the time where actually like super similar to Palutena, but Palutena doesn't have this move anymore in Ultimate. It's Angelic Missile, but I can't call the move Angelic Missile if Medusa is using it, right? So instead, I've changed its name to Hellish Missile.
Nice.
So this move, as it's going to be very similar to Angelic Missile, Medusa will physically launch herself forwards, head first, as she spins around. The direction she launches herself in can be influenced by the control stick shortly after initiating the attack, but once she's blasted off, her angle cannot be adjusted further past that point. Opponents who make contact with Medusa when she's missiling herself around get damaged. The exact amount and the direction kind of depends on where they make contact, though. Being hit head on directly is the most damaging, but if you're hit by like above her, then you're going to kind of like bounce off that one of these directions. If you're hit from below, you're just going to bounce back down towards the stage. That kind of a deal. Where did I get with that? Yeah, and being hit by the head is most damaging. Being hit by her feet is the weakest hit you can do. She can only launch herself so far, though, and once she reaches that maximum distance, she can go, which is roughly about 2.5 times her height, which is pretty substantial, really. At that point, she'll start to drift and then descend downwards.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Well, whereas you took a little bit from Palutena for your up special, just in the name at least.
It's very much Angelic Missile.
Yeah. All the same.
But I figured it was fair game because she doesn't use that move anymore. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a non-starter pretty much. My up special takes a little bit more from Pit and Brawl.
Okay.
It's my up special is called Head Games. Because
All
I couldn't
right.
think of anything else, frankly. Medusa's body remains on stage while her head detaches.
That sounds more like a Bowser Jr.
Mm-hmm. This move, it works very similarly to Pit's Brawl Up special, wherein Medusa's head is given free roaming capabilities for a brief period of time. They'd be like, go nuts, right?
So like the Ganondorf that we did years ago.
Right, but the difference is, I think, from that Ganondorf and Pit, is that you can build up momentum. So if you're going straight forward the entire time, you're building up momentum and you can smash into opponents with Medusa's head. And then, there's like a pulsing dark magic kind of like around her head that appears when it's about to deactivate. So you kind of get that queued up. Once it's deactivated, her body returns just like a snap of magic to wherever her head is, and she free falls. Yeah, and that's kind of that.
I would like to take this opportunity to just put out a quick pitch for either standard special or extra skill. Essentially that, but without the part where her body falls to head. It's more like kind of like a snake's missile launcher. She fires her head around, she can fly it around, but then at the end of the move, the head just reforms at her body. I'd like to propose that as a real quick pitch. I don't know if we'll use that, but it's just like you coming up with that gave me that idea. It's like, why don't we have her head as a projectile?
Yeah, that could work. I mean, that might show up somewhere.
It could.
It could. Plus mine, I know it comes up with some sort of AR stuff like, can opponents attack the body when it's detached? When her head's detached?
Yeah, and it'll interrupt the head. That would be very much the danger of that move. It's like, yeah, you essentially have like a free range teleport, but if you get attacked, and I would say probably not like a weak attack, enough damage will cause the attack to be interrupted, and your up special is wasted.
There you go. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to use than when you're actually launched significantly off the stage.
Yeah.
And then,
but if the body falls before the head can find somewhere and you end the move, you're KO'd.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
God. Why would you ever use this move? Your body's gonna fall before you can get somewhere.
Yeah, unless somehow the body either disappears when used in midair or just stays propelled.
I feel like the body has to be there. If it just
Mm-hmm.
disappears, then Medusa is more or less as like the tiniest hitbox.
Oh yeah, true. Maybe the body can stay propelled, like by dark magic. It is static in place.
Would be the only solution to make it viable.
Right. I don't think that would be too bad, but we'll see what happens in the long game of
We
figuring
will.
the whole moveset out.
We will.
Yep.
Moving on to the down special here. I have Landmine. Again, another one of the heavenly powers. This one, Medusa will tap her staff into the ground and implant a glowing landmine into the ground. This will be symbolized by a small flash of purple energy that covers that space where the landmine was planted for a quick second. And then after that, the only evidence that it's still there will be a tiny wisp of purple smoke that just like waves from the ground. It's like you gotta notice it to realize it's there. This landmine will stay on the stage for up to 15 seconds, or until an opponent either stands on it or hovers a short distance above it. Once triggered, the landmine explodes with dark energy, sending the target and anybody else that was too close flying in an upwards direction into the air, which really would suck for you. The landmine never gets triggered, or if Medusa attempts to lay a second landmine, then the existing will simply fade away harmlessly. Nothing happened with it. Essentially, it's just the way that she can place a trap.
Okay. Cool.
And it's much better than Palutena's counter/reflector bullshit.
Sephiroth? Oh, yeah.
No, not Sephiroth.
So,
no. First he gave Palutena a counter/reflector in the same move, whereas other characters only have one or the other. And then Joker gets the same fucking thing once he has his rebellion gauge up. And now fucking Sora! It's not bad enough that he gives some counters reflectors out. Yes, now he's combining this shit into one. Dude. Thank you for Sora, but no more counters.
Next Smash.
Please. Anyways, your down special.
Cursed Palm. Medusa holds her hand forward, and that eldritch toothed mouth that appears in her boss battle opens wide from her palm, releasing a toxic gas. The gas will linger in the air for a little while, and any opponent that enters it is at risk of being poisoned. Those caught up in its immediate spray will also be dished out additional damage per every second that they remain in that spray's trajectory.
Okay. It's a poison spray.
Right. And they might have that they might slip. I don't know why. I guess the poison's on the ground or something. It operates similarly to like Ice Climber's Blizzard, where the initial gas unleashed will come at like the steady, harsh stream and dish out more damage than when the stream's let loose for a while. Like if the move's kept active for too long, the gas will just become not and just be a sad excuse, just kind of barely coming out of the mouth. Eventually culminating, and I like this tiny aesthetic bit, eventually culminating in the hand burping and Medusa shaking it off before returning to her battle stance.
So that would kind of be like if she uses the move too long, this is your penalty. Like compared to like Bowser, his fire breath will recede, and you have to wait a little bit before you can get it back up to its full length. This one is just like, use this move too much, you're going to be locked into an animation where you're trapped and you're a sitting duck. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good countermeasure there.
Right.
Final Smash.
That's that.
Final Smash time. So Palutena's Final Smash combines Black Hole and Mega Laser. So I'll just like, okay, let's combine two heavenly powers for Medusa's as well. I'm combining Meteor Shower with Petrify Attack for a move that I call Petrifying Meteor Shower. With a dark laugh.
Self-explanatory, yes.
Yes. Medusa will raise her staff high into the air as a series of meteors, shaped like the Medusa head item from Kid Icarus Uprising, will begin to rain down on the stage. These meteors vary in size and will rain down quickly from the top of the screen at a diagonal angle. The meteors carry with them a chance to petrify opponents that they strike with, those odds going up with the amount of damage that opponent has sustained. If affected by this petrification, they'll find themselves unable to move for 1 to 2 seconds as their bodies are covered in a thin layer of stone. Being affected by this petrification can be deadly, as it makes them unable to escape the wrath of other meteors that are raining down upon them, making dodging a high priority. That said, if you are petrified, there's no guarantee that further meteors will increase the length of your petrification. There is still that percent chance. The damage and knockback of each meteor will vary in accordance with the size of the meteor, and they can be as small as, say, Kirby to, I don't know, giant Kirby, I guess.
There you go. Yeah.
Kirby is kind of our standard. Our two like AOE sizes of things that we have for measurements is pretty much like, is it Kirby size or is it Smart Bomb sized? Well, I don't think media should be Smart Bomb sized.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirby
Right.
feels like a good small and just like bigger Kirby's, more or less.
Right. Right.
Kind of like
right.
the meteors, like for Ness and Lux's Peak of Starstorm, they don't change in size, but they're roughly in that size range.
Right. Right. Okay. Very cool. Mine is called Goddess of Darkness.
Okay.
Medusa just is standing there, and then she just throws her head forward. It is barreling forward while body remains in place. And then anyone hit by Medusa's head will be taken into a cinematic. We are in the underworld, and Medusa is huge, like in her victory pose.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at she's unleashed her petrification attack. She's just floating kind of eerily in her giant form above these stone bodies of whoever's been captured. And then she just unleashes, again, like from her boss fight, a massive red laser from her eyes that desecrates the statues, like tears them apart, and just like blows the surrounding environment up in like this comeuppance of rock and filth and blah blah blah. Then simple enough. Once you're out of the cinematic, the head returns to the body. The opponents are sent flying. Anyone with 100% damage or more, done.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, then. So this extra skill that I have here, oh boy. I get the feeling it's probably not going to be picked. 'Cause it's a little, well, it's based off the heavenly moves, or the heavenly power Spite. Spite takes Pit's HP and turns it into damage. So for this extra skill, Medusa will channel all of her rage and spite into a single explosive attack. This attack will create an AoE explosion of dark energy centered on Medusa. The range and strength of this attack are dependent on the amount of damage that Medusa has taken, getting more powerful the more damage she's taken, but capping out at Medusa being at 100%, kind of like Lucario and his aura. Medusa, however, is not immune to this attack. While this attack can be very damaging to Medusa's opponents, she will also take the same amount of damage as knockback. The same amount of damage and knockback, arguably more so since she's at the center of the explosion. This move can only be used once per stock, and it's recommended to only use it in either times of desperation or when you know you will survive it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much a, fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take these bitches with me.
It's Heroes Kamikaze crazier.
It's Heroes Kamikaze, but there is no guarantee that Medusa will die from it. There's a chance,
Right.
but Kamikaze is an insta-death for Hero.
Mm-hmm. Okay, high stakes, high reward kind of thing. Pretty okay. I can see where it fits. Crazy, but it works. It works. Okay, mine is called Dark Eye. In her Uprising battle, there are a few, like, turret style projectiles that are prevalent. There's the turret eye, there's the dark
Ugh.
mines. Dark mines kind of blow up in your face.
The
Turret eyes kind
Medusa
of just shoot
heads.
lasers at you. Medusa heads, yep. So dark eye is a combination of the turret eye and the dark mine. So Medusa summons a dark eye to the stage. It looks similar to the turret eyes, like those stone eye things, but it has the swirling reddish spikes of her dark mines. So it looks kind of like a mono eye, but stone and with dark magic surrounding it.
Mm-hmm.
Altogether, so it bears properties of both weapons from Uprising. A short 3-tiered meter appears under Medusa's character icon while using this move, or it's always there, whatever. And it indicates how many dark eyes she'll summon at a time, being 1, 2, or 3. It takes a while to summon additional eyes, and an opponent could absolutely take advantage of this. Attacking Medusa during this period can just see the move cancel. Like, you're done. You have to start from the top. But each dark eye summoned will float slightly above Medusa's shoulders and head. So if there's 3, I'm thinking like one over one shoulder, one over the other, one kind of behind her head. And they just gently bob up and down, and they follow her as she moves across the stage, like at her pace, like a Pikmin or whatever else. Any opponents that arrive within about 2 Kirby's distance of Medusa will be shot at with the Dark Eyes red lasers. That deals like light damage and some keep away flinch effects. Like a slightly heavier, like Fox laser.
Mm-hmm.
But if the eyes are dealt enough damage, the dark minds of opponents are like attacking the eyes to get rid of them. The dark mind properties will activate and they'll blow up. And that causes a small concentrated explosion about the size of the eye itself, which again, by our Kirby measurements, is about the size of a Kirby. So the explosion has like a poisonous gas in it, as the dark minds do in Uprising. And so that's like another extension of Curse Palm, where you have a toxic approach to the explosion. Any opponent caught in the gas will be poisoned. If they're directly caught in the explosion or remain in the gas for too long, the poison effect can last a number of seconds. The explosion, of course, also dishes out a strong knockback. Medusa herself will not be affected by the explosions or the poison, and she can actually attack these dark eyes herself to provoke the effect as she sees fit.
I think I got lost a little bit in the beginning.
Okay.
So she's creating these dark eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they stay around her, or they're staying in one place?
Right. They are like directly behind her, basically, like around her head and shoulders.
Okay, but when they're attacked, they release a small localized burst that she's immune to.
Right.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out when other people would be affected by this burst, and also having 5 of them and the lasers that would all be firing from them, what this rate of fire is, and how you can even get close to them, and
Right.
why would you?
Right. Right. Again, it's a complicated move, so some of it got lost in translation. The eyes can move. They just won't much. But they will extend to a point where they are in, as they do in Uprising. They're moving at a slow pace, and if you get within a certain proximity, they will move forward in front of Medusa, behind Medusa, and just shoot. Not to a great extent, as far as the rate of fire goes. I'm thinking it's every 3 or 4 seconds, nothing over the top.
You said these are called dark mines?
The dark minds are one thing, and then the eyes are another. So
Yeah, I can't find those existing on the Kid Icarus wiki.
interesting. Okay.
Because like I don't know when you're using these names to describe them. It's like I have no idea what enemy you're talking about, and I can't find
Mhm.
them even when doing like the search for them on pages. I can't find
Mm-hmm.
anything about this.
Right. I again, I got it from her boss fight.
I
So
see
I'll
a
try and
dark
find the-
mine. There's mines that are
Right.
part of her attack. So you were saying dark mine.
Right. Dark eye, actually.
No, they're mines.
Um,
She has eye beams. But
no, that's what I'm saying.
these dark
That's what I'm
mines are just
saying.
like a mine that will
Yeah.
float in place.
Yeah. They are. This move is an amalgamation between the eye that you're talking about and the dark mind that you're talking about. I have a way to make this simpler.
How?
We only make them one. So it could be the eye turret or the dark mine. It doesn't have to be both. And in this case, if it's the eye turret, they move around slightly, like propelled around a body, and they shoot at opponents at a steady pace that's not unfair to the opponents, and they could be damaged. If it's a dark mine, you just kind of set them in place where you want them, and they blow up. There you go.
Okay.
I kind of think, I don't know. The turret is more unique. I don't know.
I have some thoughts that I want to run by you when it comes to us picking out these moves. And you may disagree with things. I just want to throw this out there. What if Up Special is Hellish Missile, but extra skill is Head Games without the teleport? It is that free control of the head while the body stays behind.
Got it. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear my dog barking in the background.
Not right
That was
there, I
very
can't
distracting. So,
Sometimes I hear people talking about it. I don't normally hear the dog.
Weird. Maybe it's something with my microphone. I don't know. Okay, so you're saying up special is head games? You're saying
No. I'm saying Up Special Hellish Missile because it's only that or head games.
Oh,
But make head games be the extra skill without teleporting. It's just you have that free flight of the head to use it as like a fun projectile, kind of PK Thunder like, except it's not an up. You can just ram into people. But then at the end of the extra skills time frame, it comes back to Medusa.
right.
Kind of similar to Snake's missile launcher.
Yeah,
Except
I mean,
free
I'm
flight for
fine
it.
with that. Again, Spite, I don't know where. There's not going to be many situations where you'd use it. It's a cool final move.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm fine with dropping
Dark-
it.
and apparently, I became overly ambitious
The
with my
Dark
initial extra
Mine
skill. Yeah.
confuses me.
Well, we'll just move on. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that because the head games, it's hard to make it a viable move because you get a lot of reward, but a lot of risk. Similarly to Spite, so if you put it in the extra skill and take the pressure off of having it be a recovery specifically, then okay, yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right. Let's see here. So we've got those two settled. What about side special? We've got slip shot. We've got what'd you call it? Rending claw.
Gorgon claw.
Gorgon claw. Was it Gorgon or Gorgons?
Gorgons, although
Okay.
either or.
I think Gorgon's claw sounds better.
Okay.
It flows a little bit better.
Mhm.
I like the concept of slip shot, but I think Gorgon's claw is pretty interesting sounding. It's a strong.
Where you're tearing, yeah.
Yeah, like at first I was thinking, why is this not just like a side smash attack. But when you added in like the rending of reality and the black hole effect, it's like, okay, that makes it special. Because
Yeah,
sometimes the ideas I like, sometimes they're my ideas, sometimes they're ideas of somebody I saw randomly on the site. They're like, this can be a special move, which is like, that's a smash attack. Why not this? That's something that I keep in mind sometimes with some things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
why
like
I
the-
don't make a. It's why I don't make a special move. She swipes her staff. It's like, no, that's just an attack, dude. Nothing special about that.
That's why I didn't give Sonic like 3 spin dashes.
And a spring.
Yep, and a spring. Good man. Good man.
Someday we need to give Sonic the makeover treatment.
I agree.
I mean, technically, I already altered Sonic a little bit on the wiki, but he can probably be altered a little bit more. I actually don't remember what I did for him besides the extra skill that I gave him.
I'm in on it, if only for the one of the alternate costumes being this, the first form that we saw for the movie before they changed it due to fan backlash.
No. No. That's something that needs to
Baby
burn in hell.
Sonic.
It's a toddler
Sonic.
in a onesie.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I like the idea of Slipshot a lot. In the way it over prioritizes a bunch of things, makes it unique.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
Slipshot can turn into an item. Just like it looks like kind of like I don't remember what it looks like in Conviction. I think it's just like the little like teardrops or something. Maybe that's tirelessness. But like things like Petrify Attack, they look like a little tag, a little piece of paper. Maybe make an item that looks kind of like that for Slipshot, and so people can pick it up and equip it to them, and then all their projectiles have that property. That could be interesting.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh yeah, I can see that icon and how it could be turned-ish into a projectile. Okay. That works. Okay, so if you want to go for Gorgon Slaw, I mean, I'm open for that, of course.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Okay. How are you feeling about the rest of it, though? Like the standard, the down?
What was your down again?
It was Cursed Palm, where you're using the mouth with the gas out of her hand.
Oh, that's right.
And then yours was a landmine.
Yeah, which honestly, I feel like your Cursed Palm, there's far less characters that can do an attack like that. There's certainly characters that can. Insert poison type Pokemon here. Insert Wario with Garlic Breath. But Landmine, I feel like can be used probably conceptually by a wider variety of things. So I'm kind of cool to go with Cursed Palm.
Cursed Palm. Yeah, Cursed
Palm.
Palm.
Which is one of the weapons in Uprising. Actually, now I remember that.
Yeah.
Is that weapon based off of Medusa?
I think.
Let's look, because I know like a lot of the bosses have weapons based off them, or will have something like there's the Viridi Palm. No, I don't think it is. It's not based on her. I'm not sure if she has one.
Interesting.
She might not. I know there's the Grape Reaper Palm. Let's see here, Medusa. It doesn't look like she has a weapon based off of her. Wow.
Weird.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Why would Palutena give Pit a weapon based off Medusa? But you also have the Pandora clause. So.
I don't know. Yeah, I concur, though. I mean, the landmine is a good move. Just a move that could be used by a variety of characters, and including maybe another Uprising character. So, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, too. Centurion.
Phosphora.
Yeah, there you go.
Phosphora could do that. But yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And then standard special, I had the weak point reticle, which is a unique concept, and you had the petrification something.
Stone Gaze. That's
Stone
right.
Gaze. Stone Gaze.
hmm I think that this is where it starts to be. I'm okay with it veering more into yours, where we're dealing with kind of these Palutena-esque things with a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Gaze. I don't know. Stone Gaze is like something Medusa does that characters can't do. Other characters can't do.
Yeah.
Weak point reticle. You could pretty much say the same thing.
And both of our
Um,
funnel smashes involve characters either being or potentially being petrified. So it's still represented there no
is
matter what.
right, and that's where I'm coming at. Where I'm thinking maybe we go weak point reticle because they kind of have the function where you're taking an opponent in their weakest state.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, petrification is in the final smash. Either way we go, and I think that that's the best place for it because it's such it's an iconic thing for Medusa. You may as well toss it in the final smash. So how about weak point reticle standard?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right. So we got weak point reticle. We got Curse Palm.
Gorgon's Claw, yeah.
Gorgon's Claw. Right. Gorgon's Claw. Hellish Missile. Then Curse Palm. We have an extra skill of Head Games, which is a clever name. And then Final Smash. We have the Petrifying Meteor Shower, and I think you called yours Goddess of Darkness? Goddess of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Just after the title.
Which yours is a cinematic where they're petrified and then they just get obliterated by laser. And mine is more like a petrifying version of the Brawl versions of trying to say the name of the goddamn attack. PK Starstorm. It's more like a Brawl version of that case as opposed to the Ultimate version where they're essentially a beam attack.
Mm-hmm. I'm cool with either of these, so I'll just kind of defer to your thoughts.
The two big thoughts. Actually, I guess I kind of have three thoughts here. One, cinematic. Enough said. Two, combining two powers together, kind of like Palutena does. But the only problem with mine is the potential iffiness of the petrification. I kept it as simplistic as I could, and this would just be like 1 to 2 seconds. They can't move, but they can get away after that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, I do worry that it is still potentially problematic. But I don't know.
Right.
There's a reason I only did that much with Petrify.
I think it's something you have to have personally, and I think if you're going to do it, the way that you're doing it is the least offensive way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and again, cinematic is cinematic. Ultimate did it too much. Kind of took me off the bandwagon of them in general, like you.
Like, I understand why Sakurai wanted to make Final Smashes a little bit more uniform, a little bit more speedy to get back in the action of things, but I feel like he course corrected too hard. Not everything needed to just be cinematic. Then now we have Final Smashes that pretty much fall into a Triforce Slash, a Beam Attack, or a cinematic for the most part. There are some outliers, but or also there's the Ultimate Spider, or I forget what it's actually called, but Spider-Man's Hyper Smash Attack in Marvel vs. Capcom, which then Greninja Maximum Spider, that's what it's called, and then Greninja has his version of that, and now we have Cloud uses his version of that. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, petrifying meteor shower or whatever it's called. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Medusa cinematic is cool. You could do something similar with other characters. I think that was like the prevailing theme is, what is it that other characters can do? Okay, bye.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely argue that the cinematic one is more likely to smash, but again, we don't care about that. We like doing our vision.
Right. And
Our
this
vision
was,
can be reflected
yeah.
by Smash Cannon,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
or reflect Smash
Right.
Cannon sometimes. But we
right.
still do what we want.
Exactly. So we have a moveset.
We do. So we've got a few things left to discuss here with Medusa. First of all, special abilities, unique traits. I didn't have any. She didn't really seem like somebody that would be wall jumping. So I was like,
Mhm.
no, nothing for that. If Palutena doesn't do it, Medusa ain't gonna do it. Simple enough there.
Right. I think one thing I think this was a good episode for moveset making. This was a well balanced moveset. Um, we had to go places with Poochie where we were mimicking Yoshi, and that was cool. But I like freshening it up with this one too.
Yeah.
This is a good episode.
Even though there are a couple
Um,
things that are pulling similar traits with Palutena, and then there's Hellish Missile, which
mhm.
I mean she doesn't use it anymore, so it's fine. She gave up her
It's
rights.
better than teleport. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I only use
Something.
Warp Teleport Encounter when I have no other choice, and even then I try to make it different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um. Yeah. I can't think of any extra skills. So
Okay. Huh,
or
well.
other skills rather. I thought a little
Next,
too hard about extra skills actually.
sometimes it happens. Spite, I also went
Uh-huh.
a little on the deep end with that one.
Oh
So
well,
next
she's
up
like
then,
cooler Palutena.
next up we have our alt costumes. Sometimes they come up with like solid ideas for these. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, color changes. This time around, I have some
Mm-hmm.
specific ideas that are more or less color changes, but I have one that's based off of her NES sprite. So Alpha takes on a faint
Mm-hmm.
orange color scheme, while her skin and hair become different shades of green. I have one that's based off her NES art, which is the pink dress monster form. So she's got a pink color scheme to her outfit. Skin becomes turquoise, and she's got blonde hair, which would be
Mm-hmm.
very different look for her. And then all the other ones are just different color schemes based off of some of her underworld lieutenants, Pandora, Thanatos, but then also some of the other gods that we meet in Uprising, namely Hades, Palutena, Viridi, Pyron, and I don't know if he's actually a god in Awakening, but I'm assuming he's their version of Hephaestus, and that's Dintos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I had the same two color schemes for the sprite and the artwork from NES. Um, 80s Palutena, Viridi, Pandora, all there. And then I just went a slightly different route and went for her underlings. Like I have a twin bellows one with a kind of fiery hair and blackish grayish body and coloring. Um, I have a Shamum one based off of those little snakes
Hmm.
that she hit, the flying snakes, green
The-
and white and pink, or rather blue and white and pink. I think
What
would have
snakes
been
are you
useful to
talking
rope
about?
something. Hold on a sec. I
Is
will
it from
find
is it from
Or
Uprising? Because I know
we'll
there's the
find it.
Fire Worm, which is an underworld army enemy in Uprising. Oh, Shema. Oh,
It
these guys.
is
Okay, okay,
yeah
I know who you're talking about now.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
yeah
yeah, yeah. The guys that come out of the
yeah
little vases.
yeah, and they're
Okay,
like
okay, I'm
yellow
with
and
you.
blue and purple, so kind of like a neonish almost thing, and then one based off an eggplant wizard.
Oh, okay,
So that's what I got. That's what I got.
okay.
Just slight variations. Twin
Yeah,
Bellows is basically your Pyron one, so
yeah.
Pyron it is. I guess it's another god.
I mean, I
Um,
would not be opposed to dropping Pyron for Twin Bills, because fuck Pyron. He's annoying. He's there because I have because all the gods except for the only god that I in Uprising that's not represented here is Poseidon, and Poseidon is in the game for like 2 minutes, and it's only in
mhm,
you just see like a voice dialogue sprite of him as he talks. You
mhm,
don't actually ever get to see him. I hope if we get another character scheme, like actually shows Poseidon, actually give us Zeus. What would they do for Zeus?
mhm.
Also,
Oh, buddy.
is what is Palatena's place compared to the actual Greek pantheon? I'm curious about that. Like, is she
Mhm.
supposed to be Athena, or is she just her own new thing?
I agree. Zeus could be a villain for the next game.
Honestly, I
You
feel like
know.
he should be. I feel like make
Mhm.
Zeus a villain.
Mhm. That would be cool. One thing left.
One thing left. Home stages. Now, I've had an idea for this being her home stage for a long... Well, I not strictly wasn't this idea for her home stage, but I've had an idea for this stage. It's just not one that I've made yet. It's the Underworld. But specifically, an NES version of the Underworld. Kind of like how we have the old school versions of 75M and of Mario Brothers. Just like, stick the characters into... some, I don't know if it'd be like strictly into a level of the Underworld from the original game or just something using that design. I don't know. I would probably go with something that's pulled straight from the game, but I'm not familiar enough with the original characters to pick a location. But I say NES styled version of the Underworld for fucking sure.
I have the same thing written
Fuck
down.
yes.
So.
Yes. At some point, one of us will make that stage.
Mm-hmm. Either that or that burning town.
Nah, that's Twin Bellows stage.
Yeah, when he becomes playable in Smash.
Yep, Smash 6.
It's not too big. There you go.
Yep.
Imagine if that's like the Piranha Plant of fucking Smash 6.
I mean, Piranha Plant is the
or like-
Jigglypuff of Smash Ultimate.
There
He's the Mr. Game & Watch. I hate it, but it's true. He's the WTF character, and this is the first time I've hated it. Mostly because, like, there's so many other Mario characters you could have gone with. God damn it.
Yeah.
Even
Could've
outside
gone
of
with
Waluigi. We could have got Toad. Toad would been good. We could have got
Seriously?
Wart. Wart would have been another good WTF choice, but we're not here to talk about Wart today. Maybe another day we'll talk about Wart.
Could have gotten PD Piranha instead of Piranha Plant.
Honestly, yeah. Should have been PD Piranha.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Would have been weird, but I wouldn't have hated it.
I mean, you know, it's a thing. It happens. But that is all
I
we...
am PD Piranha.
You are not PD Piranha. Please, no more hacking up sludge on the podcast. It is disgusting to hear. Seriously. Anywho, next time on Supercast Brothers, I almost said Select Star Gaming. It's like, that is not this show. We have another Smash Dash episode for you. In this one, we have a specific theme for it. We're going to be going with...
Do we?
Well, yes, as we're calling this the Hideki Kamiya special. Characters from games that Hideki Kamiya, I believe, directed or published. He had some involvement with. Not strictly whether they were, you know, Platinum Games or Clover Studios, just like anything Hideki Kamiya. So, that should be fun. We've got a guest lined up for it. And we'll have another set of characters for Rate Their Chances. And I get to see a guest give us their numbers on it, which should be interesting. I'm kind of curious what numbers they'll give us, considering their thoughts on some characters that we've discussed before. Should be entertaining at the very least. But with that, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Sweet dreams and sweet beans to you all.